Yes, all set now. Yes. Welcome, my dear viewers. I'm so sorry I'm a little bit late due to technical glitch as usual. Today it happened here. Well, welcome to my real talk show. This is your Anuradha Shri, your corporate communication coach, entrepreneur, and author of my book. Easy English. Well, today the topic is about why emotional intelligence is important in leadership skills. Of course, we are a bit late by 15 minutes. Still, we have our own emotions to take this episode in a better way. And as you know, this real talk show is on every Monday and Friday with amazing guest speakers. And today, our amazing guest speaker is Mr. Ganesh. By the way, who is he? Well, he has many achievements, but let me tell you who exactly is. He's a TEDx speaker, motivational speaker, life coach, Josh Talk speaker, corporate trainer, author, farmer, and philanthropist. But Ganesh Mandhari is a highly sought after motivational speaker and corporate trainer with over 2 decades of diverse global working experience across the continents. His life journey spanned from a difficult childhood, being a school dropout in grade 8, to a farmer, a highly successful corporate professional, to an entrepreneur. A TEDx speaker twice, a motivational speaker, a corporate trainer, and an author of the book called Your Life Graduation. Mr. Ganesh Mandhari inspires from his real life experience and learnings from decades of his life struggles and success. Audience, it's just not about today, it's just talking about the history, what he had been in his childhood, whatever the problems he had, the challenges, what he faced. And today he has been a TEDx speaker, Josh Talk speaker. So he's the right person to talk about this topic. Why is emotional intelligence is important in leadership? So it's the right time to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Ganesh. Mr. Ganesh, are you there?
Hi, Hanusri. Very good evening. How are you?
I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm good. I'm sorry I made you hold on for 15 minutes due to some technical glitch.
Absolutely fine. And thanks for the wonderful introduction I ever had. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's your achievement.
By the way, I'm not here to impress with my bio. I'm here to inspire everyone with my little life wisdom, I could say. Yeah.
You need to talk to express your feelings, not to impress anybody here.
Absolutely.
That's all. That's what all my real talk is. It has to be from the bottom of the heart.
Wonderfully said. And today's topic is about emotional mastery, like emotional intelligence, which is all about expressing our emotions, authentic emotions, naturally, right straight from your heart. Wonderful.
Yeah, Ganesh, I think I would like to start about your journey. I'm sure you had a very tough time during your childhood. So everyone feels that they start blaming the fate, their destiny, and their family situations. Which I don't agree with it. And today I could see a person in front of me who has done this, who's undergone all this, and now is he is a successful person to some extent, isn't it? And because he's still learning, he's in the process of still learning. He never says, I'm totally successful. He's still in the process of this. He always says, success is not final. He keeps on learning here. So let's talk about your journey, Ganesh.
Yeah, definitely, Anushree. So firstly, I think, I partly agree with you and partly disagree. The reason is everyone is successful in their own terms. Maybe there might not be a kind of tangible success which is appearing. This is first thing. Second thing, everyone has some challenges and difficult challenges, tough times in their life. Even a person born with a silver spoon, they might have kind of all resources, all kind of, like everything, all resources, but they might be deprived of emotional, some relationships or other things. So in a way, I always believe that every human being has their own struggles and setbacks. And likewise, it's me. So there are many people like that. And everyone has a talent, hidden talent. We all are blessed with a unique talent. But the problem is very few people, they bounce back, they maneuver the challenges and they rise above those challenges. That makes a difference. So I could say So rather saying I'm
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. Could you please share the live link to your audience, please?
yeah,
Because
sure.
they're just pinging me here. They're unable to view it. Probably, can you just send a message? Viewers, the profile is in public. You all can view it. Still, you have put a message. You're unable to view the live session. Anyway, I have shared the live link to Mr. Ganesh. So probably he'll be doing it.
Yeah.
My FB profile is on live. So everyone can view this live session.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, because they ping you up and you will disturb. So I just don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the question, it comes to connect back to our question. My journey began right. Like as a difficult childhood, like everyone has their own struggles. The thing is, like for me, wherever I am today is a wildest dream. Like 25 years back, like taking a flight was my wildest dream. I took hundreds of flights. I traveled across the continents, worked in 11 countries. It's not again to impress, to inspire. Being a school dropout in grade 8, well, I want to say the reason why I was a school dropout, it was not my choice. It was in a compulsive state. My family has a prolonged financial distress and we couldn't cope up with that. So I was compelled to drop out and support my family business. I ran for a year. I mean, I supported for a year. After that, we winded. And I was a full-time farmer. I was farming for 7 years after my school dropout. So my turning point, the biggest turning point is I pursued correspondence open university graduation, BCom, which I did just for a sake, just I was a topper in my school until grade 8. I always used to be first, second, or third at most. I was a merit student and I was deprived of education. So I had only one thing in my mind. I shouldn't remain in my life as an illiterate, uneducated. For a sake, I need to have one graduation, one degree. So for that reason, I pursued my open university, but which was a blessing for me, I could say. That open university degree after 3 years, right? I was doing my farming, like I used to take few hours in between reading just a model papers, and I was able to pass just with the reasonable marks. Okay, though I'm a merit student, but I just passed on second grade, I could say, in second class. My aggregate was around 55 point something. Now, that open university degree gave a lease of life for my professional life, and also it reconnected back to my academic. It was technically qualified for pursuing regular MBA. So I've done my MBA master's in Chennai from Madras University. That was my true life transformation. So I had a fire in my belly those days, from grade 8 directly to MBA. There was a huge gap. I had an inferiority complex, social anxiety, low self-esteem, and there was a big gap because like when you have 8 years, close to 8 years disconnected with the formal education. So my peer group was well advanced and I was having all these things. So it took me courage. The fire in my belly drive me. So I attempted to deliver a seminar in my first semester in the second week itself. I was the first volunteer to raise my hand. And you know what happened? I failed miserably. My first seminar was like biggest disaster. Though I prepared well, I couldn't utter a single word. And I was shivering and it was sweating. And this was the biggest massive failure. And everyone in my classroom, it was in my classroom in front of 60 members in economics class. So the seed for becoming a public speaker was sown on that week. So I couldn't sleep that day. I was humiliated. I was feeling guilty, but there was a fire in my belly. My friends, they've done a wonderful job by critic and by making kind of all other things, because critics makes us stronger. I approached my professor again after a week. I persuaded to give one more topic. I'll try better. So next seminar was really well. I mean, I can't say it's an awesome, but that is a turning point. After that session, my colleagues, my 60 members of friends, right, they congratulated and they got inspired. Come on, Ganesh, what's the transformation from there to here within a week? And I was not an awesome speaker then, but I did reasonably well. And they came to know that I was a school dropout. I had 8 years gap. All things kept unfolded. So they started tagging me as a motivational speaker. Then I decided I want to become a motivational speaker post-retirement after 50s, but happened to pursue it in my mid-40s. So this is how I got into speaking, and I've chosen motivational speaker and as a professional speaker.
The critics, you took it in a sportive, you took a very sportive way, and you worked within a span of 1 week, you got a good transformation. Awesome. Hey, audience, I just want to brush up here what we are doing. You must be wondering what we are speaking. It's very simple. Today, we have a guest speaker, Mr. Ganesh, who's talking about his journey. As of now, we're talking about the journey. The topic today is why emotional intelligence is important in leadership. But we haven't come yet. We are just touching the base of it. So now we are almost, he spoke emotionally about his journey. So how many of you feel that you also undergoing this case? Yeah, if it is yes, please mention yes, it's I, so that it can resonate very well. And we will be very happy to see that there are many, not only it's hey or may, there are many in the markets now. So now, Ganesh, now you're also a Josh Talk speaker, TEDx speaker, motivational speaker. Awesome. I would like to say congratulations for that.
Thank you.
But now the question is, now we took a topic called as emotional intelligence. So you might have come across lots of critics and lots of failures. It drops. Sometimes you may have it would have hurted you sometimes. Now, what do you mean by this emotional intelligence and why you say that it's especially important in leadership? Can we talk on that a bit?
Definitely, Anushree. See, basically, emotional intelligence is one of the important aspect of our life. Normally, we all are worried about our health and well-being. Our health is a physical well-being, mental well-being, but there is also emotional well-being, which has a superseding powers over your physical health. Even though you are on a best diet, right? You are on a best diet at a good physical activity. If you are deprived of emotional health, if you don't have a good emotional health, it subsides. It supersedes. Even your nutrition doesn't work. It generates a negative hormones, neurotransmitters, and even our physical health will have an impact. Our overall health, right? For an overall health. Today, I think we are talking about emotional intelligence. Like I could call an EQ in a short. Emotional intelligence is also called as an EQ. The importance of EQ for the leadership. That was a topic I can guess it. But more importantly, that's the second thing. More importantly, every human being on this planet, we need to have the EQ level. The reason being, it is not the technical skills, I could say IQ, that wins our success, that leads to our success or happiness or fulfillment. See, there are a lot of researchers around. It is not that the highly intellectuals or with a high IQ level people are leading in a business or leading a fulfilling life or successful. If you see the top corporates and the top leaders, right, around close to 90% of the top successful entrepreneurs, they possess a very high EQ level, emotional intelligence level. That's the reason they are successful. They are not very, too much of, I could say the best example is Steve Jobs. No, he's not a programmer. He's not a technical guy. He has a high level of EQ level, and that made him to stand out and become a great legend. So we will understand what is EQ. Yeah.
Let's now emotional. Let's talk about this. Let's go for EQ, emotional quotient.
Okay.
Right. What kind of emotion? Now you said that it will also harm our health. So there are some positive emotions and some negative emotions.
Correct.
So sometimes we have mixed emotions. Could you just name out a few of the emotions?
Definitely, here? I think rather making it too technical and complex, I just want to make it quite simplified.
Even a layman can understand.
Exactly. Let us understand what are our emotions first. Then we'll move to our next stage. See, every human being, right? It is part of our nature's natural instincts. We generate our emotions. The emotions are like, we classify them as positive emotions and negative emotions. By the way, we shouldn't call them positive, negative, but based on the results, we attribute it. Like we say positive emotions like love, happiness, joy, serenity, compassion. These are all positive emotions. Negative emotions are anger, disgust, kind of, envy, jealousy, or depressed or stress. These are all called negative emotions. Every emotion is part of human evolution, including angry, jealousy, envy. They are part of our human evolution and they're made for our survival, and they add really a positive value. I could say even negative emotions as certain positive things which enhances our life. It adds meaning to our life, providing we instill a good EQ level. Normally, what we do, right, the negative emotions we stigmatize. If someone gets often angry, they outburst and we call them an angry man or an angry person, whoever it is. But ideally, when we get angry, why do we get angry normally? Simple reason. If things are not happening the way we want, if someone is not behaving the way we want, if someone is not kind of respecting or like whatever it is, our expectations and the reality, that's a mismatch. And we get angry, obviously. Now, the problem here is there's a trigger here, angry trigger. we need to harness the positive sides of this emotion, angry. I'm just taking one example because we can't cover all emotions in this session. So whenever we get an angry, it gives an indication. We need to underline the root causes. Why am I getting angry now? What is the reason, root cause? Maybe my expectations are too high, or maybe my perception is wrong, or maybe something, we need to nail down to the root causes. Now the
Maybe
thing is,
expecting from a wrong person too.
exactly. Now the thing is emotional, right? Emotional intelligence, normally it's the definition of emotional intelligence is in a very simple way. We need to observe our emotions. We should have a self-awareness to understand our emotional, what are the triggers of our emotions. We need to observe them and we need to analyze, interpret, and we need to regulate and respond in a healthy way, not by suppressing them. If you get angry, not necessarily we need to suppress it. We need to express our emotion, angry emotion, but in a very healthy way, not by shouting, yelling, and making all things. See, we need to express in a healthy way. There are multiple ways of expressing angry, but we should not keep it. We shouldn't suppress as well or postpone it. Naturally, people express angry emotions and they postpone, positive emotions like happiness, joy. They always postpone for future. This is also a disaster. It will also spoil your emotional health. Because when we postpone our happiness, any emotion, by the way, negative or positive, when we postpone, right, we never get back the same emotion again. The reason being, every emotion is very unique in terms of its own gravity and its own time stamp, a place tag to it. So we never get back the same emotion again. We need to express them lively and we need to experience. Normally, we put our emotional health into a flight mode. It doesn't work. We need to switch on to a live mode. We need to express it in a healthy way. See, emotional mastery is all about like how we analyze, interpret our own emotions and how we interpret, analyze, and respond, regulate others' emotions. So it's all about, it's a reciprocal. It's not in a one way. So this is called emotional intelligence. So it's not only important for leaders, for every human being. And when it comes to important people like entrepreneurs and leaders, it is super important because it is not just their health alone in their hands. Everybody's, the entire team and the entire employees, a CEO has to regulate, is a head of a family. Some companies are thousands, they're running into thousands, right? If his emotions are not regulated properly, it impacts the entire organization. It's not about what we speak, but basically how we speak, how we express that matters. Giving the same answer, yes or no. So when we speak, right, we may lie with our words, we may fake out, but emotions never lie because emotion speaks louder than our words. They drive better than our motivation. They yield higher contentment than any wealth, materialistic wealth. So it's super important for leaders.
Good. Thank you. I think Ganesh has given, in a short span of time, he has given a huge topic about it. So if you'd like to know more about this emotional intelligence, you need to contact Mr. Ganesh on this. And how to contact Mr. Ganesh? No worries. I'll be sharing the details about him below this video so that you can get in touch with him and have a good talk on this emotional intelligence. Now, what are the skills like emotional intelligence when you say this? Because I know when it comes to emotional, I don't have an in-depth idea. I have a brief ideas about empathy. When it comes to empathy, people talk about empathy. I believe more in empathy than sympathy. I don't like sympathy. Something it has to be done. Just not sympathy, something just we say, oh, just feel and go. Empathy, something which I work on it alone. So what do you say? Do you think the emotional intelligence also comes, the empathy comes under the same category?
Absolutely. Empathy is one of the key pillars in emotional intelligence. I could say there are 4 core pillars in emotional intelligence. Number 1, self-awareness. Number 2 is about regulating our emotions. Number 3 is empathy. And number 4 is about social skills. So these are the 4 key components of emotional intelligence. So empathy is one of the key, kind of ingredient, I could say core pillar. So not only as a leader, as a human being, we need to be empathetic. So whenever, take a simple example.
Where do leaders fail, Ganesh? Exactly. You say this emotional. Sorry to interrupt you because I may tend to forget later because I need to speak again.
Yes.
So when you say this, let's talk about generally a human. We have different kind of emotions. And when it comes to leadership or entrepreneur, whatever, there's a responsibility towards others than we. So what are the common skills they are missing in emotional intelligence?
Yeah. See, I could say I can attribute all the 4 pillars. Basically, for leaders, right, before getting there, right, we human beings are more emotional than logical. We are not robots. We are not machines. We cannot code in a program, or we cannot just speak about logics. We cannot win any person with the logics. If you see in the sales and marketing, everything emotion sells basically, right? Not only there, even an employee getting a higher increment, but if he is not emotionally connected, if you don't show EQ level for that employee, even if you give 100%, 200% right, we cannot sustain, we cannot retain it. We will look after somewhere else, because everyone is not working just for money. Even emotions, emotional connect is really important. So it will go hand in hand. So normally those who have a poor EQ levels, right, they are driven by logics, not by emotions. So basically logics are really important, I'm not saying, but there should be a good strike between logics and emotions. We cannot go by logic all the time. Sometimes we need to go beyond our rules and books. We need to be empathetic. So, like example for an employee, if something happens, some setback happens in employee's personal life. So we cannot use the rule book all the times, right? So they should be in an empathetic situation. We need to handle that employee that emotionally. That employee will remain in an organization forever and gives us 100%. So, I mean, there are multiple cases. Take an example of communication. The EQ level plays the biggest role in communication. The effectiveness of communication, I could say effectiveness, it goes into multifold. So when you have a high EQ level, the communication will be more effective. And that is the reason all successful leaders are quite inspiring and motivating. Whatever they speak, right, it reaches to the heart of the audience. And it's not just an effective communication, it also inspires and motivates. And it has such power.
I totally agree with you. You could see that even though, I mean, yeah, as a communication coach, I can tell you that maybe there may be some pronunciation issues or some sentence formation, but still the content, the way they deliver, it touches your heart, and that's how it gets nailed in. This I can resonate very well. So now we're coming back to this workplace generally, due to this lack of emotional intelligence. What are the disadvantages happening, Ganesh? As per your experience, we have a couple of years' experience on this.
Yeah. So basically, it leads to a disaster. First and foremost thing, right? Person loses its own emotional health. It impacts in his health, the leader's health himself. If he will have a relationship issues, it will create a kind of interpersonal skills impact, and it impacts your social life. It impacts your relation, kind of health, your personal life. Of course, if one thing is impacted, everything gets impacted. Once profession get impacted, his finances also get impacted. So it is integrated to entire ecosystem. I want to take one example of our leaders. Example, just now you said, right, the communication, the pronunciation, accent, or vocabulary, or a grammar. Those are not important. Of course, they are really important. But when it comes to EQ level, right, take an example of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I'm not affiliated to any political party, but I just want to give one example. When our PM goes and delivers a session in British Parliament or American Parliament, where their native language is English, right? Whenever he delivered, right, in past occasions, right, he will receive a thumping applause as a standing ovation. It's not because of his grammar, pronunciation, or accent. This is his effective delivery. He connects with emotions. Emotions plays a big role there. Same way, pick up any Harvard English literature master gold medal, ask him to go and deliver a session in the same, like in a parliament or wherever it is. We can't even guarantee we'll get a claps, forget about thumping applauses. So such power it has. Not only that, even Barack Obama, right? He's having very high level of EQ level. It is not just about like what we speak. It doesn't matter which language, which accent, which pronunciation. All it matters is how effective you are communicating with your emotions, basically. Emotions, because there are a lot of non-verbal cues and your expressions, a lot of other things. Because our emotion speaks louder than our words, I could say.
True, because it's one of the part of our training. So when you talk something, it's just not about just letting out the words. It's also you need to mix emotions and deliver so that it gets where the audience get connected, resonates that way. So that's what I could say that my very first speech of Barack Obama was the speech which made him prime minister. It's very, very, every line, the way he stressed the words is awesome. And same message we say if you ask for our minister, prime minister, even the words, whether it's in Hindi or if it's in English, the way you stress the words, awesome. Now, coming back to this workplace, generally, in this busy world, people are so busy and we can't keep showing emotions. So how do you think people can what kind of tips would you say quickly? Like they can do the quick things because now each one are busy their own schedules.
Correct.
They keep on attached to, oh my God, if I keep, okay, Ganesh is like this, Anu is like this, X is like this, Y this. So when will they work?
Yeah, I think you touched upon a very wonderful question and most relevant. I mean, current dated, it's most burning issue as well. See, we all are obsessed about our diet, physical activity, but emotions is the least ignored. I mean, it is most ignored and undermined topic. As I said, even if you are on a best diet and a best physical fitness, if you don't manage your emotions properly, whatever nutrition, it will not get absorbed because as I said, your emotional health has a direct connection with our brain and neurotransmitters, negative neurotransmitters like cortisol or adrenaline, all these things, they subsidize, they suppress your positive sides of your nutrition. Another thing, see, we need to create a time and space. It's very simple. We are so fortunate because we are living in information age. The knowledge is available at fingertips. There are a lot of content everywhere on YouTube and credible content. I mean, credible, authentic content, free content, wherever it is. People can watch even my YouTube videos or anybody's YouTube videos at Emotional Mastery. And Emotional Mastery is one of the, close topic to my heart. I deliver more sessions on this topic. Now, if we have a will, there will be a way. First thing, people has to realize and admit the importance of emotional health. This is the first thing. When the doors gets open, there's plenty of opportunities to learn. When you become a student, right, teacher emerges in any form. That's a popular saying. So they need to build self-awareness and emotional health. The first thing. And that's a basic thing they need to start. And that's everywhere, knowledge everywhere. And they can follow my channel or anybody's, their favorite motivational speaker or a trainer, anyone.
So, well, audience, I think you got a clue here. So if you would like to know more, you can just follow his channel. As usual, as I keep telling you this, I'll be sharing the link below this video. So you can click, he'll be sharing all the links over there so that you can have a whatever tips you want to know. So Ganesh, now you said that now we spoke about this all of the emotional intelligence advantages and disadvantages. First thing what you say is that it spoils your health, it spoils yourself. So you need to be aware before you say anything. And just get connected. Don't take it so deeply, right? Yeah, as usual. So here, what tips? One, as usual, I ask all the audience before we wind the session. One practical tips where people can follow practically. Because I'm a person who is very practical. If you would say something, that should be done practically. So the very quick tips, what you can give to our audience right away.
Definitely, just now onwards from today, right? So any emotion, any human emotions, right? When you get happy, when you feel happy, just observe what vibes are generated and for what reason you are being happy. It is important to know what are the trigger which is causing for happiness. Same way, when you get angry, right? Observe yourself. What is causing you anger there at that moment? When you're feeling jealousy, right? Normally, when we get jealousy, why we get jealousy? If someone is doing better than us, obviously, right? There are two ways to take it. Even jealousy is a very positive trigger for us. It gives an opportunity. If someone is doing, if Anushree is doing better than Ganesh, so normally I'm just taking an example. I started feeling, jealousy. Now I have two options. I can develop envy and I can create hatred. How come, Anushree is doing better than me? I'm more talented. So ego drives me, I, me, I. Now, this is a destructive part. Get into the constructive part. If Anushree is able to do, that means it is possible for human potential. If Anu can do, Ganesh also can do. I'm just taking an example. This is a trigger. If one human being, take an example of cricket, right? First double century in one-day international cricket, it took almost 37 years. For Sachin Tendulkar, he was the first man. It took 37 years after inventing ODI, one-day international format. But once it has become a reality, right? It is possible to human potential. You see, in next months, every year you'll get a couple of double centuries. So it is all about possibility. And we can do, I can do. This is one thing. Second thing, appreciate, congratulate Anushree so that the relationship is being breached, not burned. And third thing, I have an option to benchmark Anu. I can see how come Anu is achieving. I can also role model, I can take help. These are multiple positives behind every negative emotions, including jealousy. But getting jealousy is really important. The other positive side of jealousy is you are realizing that you are lacking behind. Somebody is doing better than you. I think we can catch up. We need to give that meaning, not the negative perspective. Whatever perspective or a meaning we attach to that, each emotion matters the most. So always try to attach a positive and constructive meaning to every emotion. Even if you get angry, underline, unearth the root causes and work on those root causes. Not try to outburst and move away from that. Otherwise, it will keep repeating and recurring.
Awesome. This is what I have been practicing nowadays, because even I do get anger. I mean, nowadays I don't wear my anger when I don't know. I was short temper, I don't know, long temper. I don't think I get temper so soon nowadays. See, one thing you said that when you're getting a selfish or jealousy audience, please listen to him. He says find the root cause of it. I would say the third option, just when somebody is something or someone is better than you, just go have a talk with them. Probably they might a person who really just want to share. That's one best way. Maybe the ego can stop. Why should I go ask or something that leads to a kind of selfish or jealousy. That's what I can tell you. But I would go for the third option, Ganesh. As you said, I just go talk to them. Hey, how are you doing it? Could you please help me out? What are things you're doing it? No matter how popular are you, how popular am I? But if you want to learn something, you need to just go strike a call, finish it off, and you'll have better clarity. And that's how your relationship builds up.
There is one more bonus positive. There's one more bonus benefit out of that. Okay. Whenever we go and ask someone approach, right? That means we are putting our ego aside and we're empowering others' ego. I mean, I'm just giving an example. Every human being feels appreciated. I know they feel a pride when someone is coming and asking you something. They feel like I'm an expert, I'm able to help, and it triggers. And there are some people who may not be encouraging, they may not share you. It's fine. Just leave it. If Anu can do, I can also do. I have multiple ways of learning. Don't stick to that. Come on, that person is not sharing, then this doesn't work. I don't care about emotional health. Even that is not good. It's not about giving up. There are multiple options. If not one opportunity, one route, we have multiple other routes.
Good. Audience, I hope this tip was really useful. And by the way, you have to be visible to the public. I could see that you're just hiding yourself, not thinking about others. Never ever think about others if you have something to share to the society. I think universe has given us so much of content and knowledge. I'm sure we need to give something back to the universe too. That is how I got Ganesh. I saw Ganesh in LinkedIn. I saw his profile and I was carried away by one of his beautiful video. I liked it. Then later I approached him. Then we had a casual talk. We built up a relationship. Then I said, okay, Ganesh, would you talk about this topic? And that is how I got it. This is how I keep doing it.
I want to add one point to that, Anushree. Normally, the highest level of fulfillment, happiness, contentment comes from giving back, not from materialistic wealth or any other success. It is not necessary giving a charity or giving a money. Giving back could be in any form. Your time, sharing your skills, giving your time, supporting in any non-monetary form also could be a good, biggest philanthropic and giving back. And we can give back not only for human beings, for animals, for nature in any form. That yields highest level of fulfillment and that adds to our longevity. Our overall health also gets improved. It is more beneficial for one's own self than to others.
Givers gain.
Exactly. Givers gain and giving is receiving. These two are wonderful nature's laws, I could say.
Never give with expectation. Just give.
It will become a transaction. When you give with an expectation, it is a give and take. It's a transaction as good as a bank transaction.
Yes. Hey, by the way, I just want to know something about your book in few lines.
Yeah. See, I wrote a book titled Your Life Graduation. It is all about life fulfillment. Nowadays, when you compare like 50 years back, 100 years back, there are a lot of people are depriving, in multiple forms for basic essential or for lifestyle and other things. Now, many people are so blessed. We are living in we are most blessed generation, but there are a lot of successful people materialistically, but they're not leading a fulfilling life. I could say success without fulfillment is an ultimate failure. I was one of the victims. I was living in that emotional deprivation for a decade. That triggered me, an obsessive study on the topic. And I connected back my life experiences and delivered and encapsulated in the form of Your Life Graduation book. This book is all about leading a fulfilling life with an aim for a sustainable happiness and success. Anything has to be sustainable, whether it is a health, happiness, and success. And that comes only when we balance our life in 10 walks, I could say 10 life fulfillment empires. So my book is all about 10 mandatory life fulfillment empires. Everyone has to qualify in these 10 empires. I could say 10 subjects for academic graduation. we have a subject set, mandatory subject, we need to have a passing score. So we need to pass ourselves in these 10 life fulfillment empires, which includes right mindset, personal set, health set, family set, heart set, which is about emotional health, what we are talking about, professional set, financial set, social set, spiritual set, and philanthropic set. There are total 10 empires. Every empire is equally important. We can't ignore one. Someone can ignore social life, but that is also really important, as good as your profession and your health. There are a lot of countries, many countries and many individuals, they are living a decade or 2 decades longer. The longevity is attributed to their healthy social life. And imagine if you don't have a good social life, whatever success you have, whom you are going to share with? It doesn't make any sense. I got an award and reward, keeping in a room. I don't have any social space. Does it give you a satisfaction? So social life is really important. So everything is important. As I said, 10 life fulfillment empires. So we all of us has to master in all these 10 empires. And this is an ongoing process, not like an academic graduation. One time pass okay, then I'm a kind of academic graduate and master, like in any undergrad. Now, life graduation is every year we need to take this assessment in your own university, like in Anushree University, Ganesh Mandali's University, or X person's university. And this book has a self-assessment at the end in a conclusion chapter. So we need to retake. I might be passing last year in financial set or professional set. This year I might fail. So every year it is as good as a professional certificates. Like I'm a CMA, I'm PMP. Like I renew it like CPD, CPUs every 2 years. Same thing applies to your life graduation. And I wish everyone attains their life graduation. And I'm on a mission and I'm on a vision to strive and spade my life wisdom to help people attain their life fulfillment, to lead a fulfilling life with sustainable happiness.
Awesome.
I think I overshooted, but whenever it comes about my book topic, right, I just express my heart. Since we have very less time, otherwise I can speak for 1 hour on my book, like just giving a
I think very soon I'll be calling all the authors to speak about life. I think each author has written their own journey. That's what. So audience, I think I don't want to take lots of your time, and due to some technical glitch, we took 15 minutes late, but still we are on time. Just 10 minutes here and there went on. I hope you had a beautiful insight about this topic. And if you would like to connect with Mr. Ganesh, don't worry, I'll be sharing the link below this video. So Mr. Ganesh, with this, I would like to end the episode. Before I end the episode, a heartful thanks from my end for coming for this show and making it such a beautiful.
Thank you, Anushree. It's my pleasure and privilege. This is an opportunity. I want to reach maximum number of people to impact their lives positively towards their life fulfillment. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Welcome. So audience, so as we had a beautiful insight about the emotional intelligence, please practice whatever tips he had given you. And trust me, it works miracle in your life. That's 100%. Because that's what, look at his journey, where he was and where is he now. And is really proud to say that he's a TEDx speaker twice, in spite of he had this child education deficiency. So anyone can do anything if you keep your goals on top. But please take action. Just not about listening and living it out. You need to take action. So fine, Ganesh, anything you would like to say before we wind the session?
That's it. Thank you, Anushree, and I wish you all the best. And thanks for inviting me on your show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. And I wish you all the audience too. I wish you a fulfilling life graduation journey. Stay blessed and stay fulfilled. See you.
Thank you. Bye. See you, audience. Next week, I'll come back with another amazing speaker with an amazing content, which again, they're going to talk about their real life journey. See you next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.